Hello, everybody. Welcome to another YouTube video. I kind of want to just do a little bit of an introduction to what I am doing today. I just started a new series called Premiere Preview. The name uh, was nimble in my head because of the new changes with MDL. So that's kind of the context around this video. That's kind of not the inspiration for this content. I actually wanted to do this before the new ESEA changes had come through. But just to give you guys a little background on this episode, I'm going to be interviewing Wolfy, who is a MDL player. I guess now we should call it Premier player, who's been playing in the North American scene for around 2 or 3 seasons. We've come to find out, and he's actually from Sweden and has lived there, so he's been working at traveling back and forth. He has actually a really interesting story to tell us on the episode, talking about his time between the two scenes, kind of comparing the two scenes as well. But mostly we kind of cover his past season of MDL working with Secret Club and his plans for the future. We also talk a little bit about the new changes. But again, to give a little bit of context, some of the new changes for the ESEA Season 26 for Premier include qualification into ESL Pro League for all 4 seasons. So to start things off, I think I jumped the gun a little bit, but ESEA is actually moving to a 4 season-a-year format rather than the previous 3 season-a-year. And all 4 seasons actually provide a path into the ESL Pro League, which is a huge deal. It's one of the biggest complaints about North American CS and really Tier 2 CS in general is that players and teams were playing training seasons, which were 3 months long. It's the reason I say more North America than EU is because training seasons, while they are a big deal in EU, not as big of a deal because of the fact that there's so many different tournaments and so many different avenues of making money in the scene for European CS. So more so a big deal in terms of looking at excuse me, looking at the prize pools and such like that. But that's a big deal. So removing that training season is going to be huge for North America. That was like the biggest to be desired thing getting rid of. On top of that, a little icing on the cake is that they're actually increasing the prize pool. So already you have more seasons per year, but on top of that, they're increasing the prize pool to 50,000 for North America, 50,000 for Europe, which means 100,000 in total, combining the two regions for Tier 2 CS. So that's a huge deal. A big increase in the amount of money available for the scene. But on top of that, I don't know if there's any more condiments you could put on ice cream, but you also get the introduction of $15,000 cash cups. I believe there's two per month, and they are, I think, 7,500 in total per month. So if you look at the two, combining them, 15K, 4K in Europe. Of course, I'm not too worried about that just because Europe has so many different tournaments already. So not all that big of a deal that Europe's not seeing as much dough from ESEA. I feel like North America definitely needs a little bit more assistance. So that's really huge. All of these updates are so exciting for ESEA. I'm really happy that they did this and that they're investing not only like money but also like investing time and effort into the North American scene. It's a huge deal. Next season and in 2021 going to be a big year for North America. We're going to rebound. I've always said it. No matter how frustrating these past couple of months have been. I want to finally end off by mentioning that they're kind of increasing the production quality of ESEA, so that's a big win. Definitely want increased production quality, as that's kind of been a bummer when looking at MDL. Is a lot of these teams have been working their ass off. They're top level teams. So getting to see that increase in funding and increase in like, I guess investment, it would be the best way to put it, like investment in time and effort into the production, because that's what all the players are doing, or at least they're going to start doing after they see the new ESEA changes. I imagine they'll be putting in more effort. That's kind of what me and Wolfie talked about during our episode. So make sure to tune in. Episode's only like 20 minutes long. Try to keep it short, concise for you all. But definitely looking forward to what Wolfie and Secret Club can do in the upcoming season. Make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the YouTube channel, because I'm going to be pumping these out quite a bit once I line up some more interviews. So thank you so much for watching, and yeah, I will see you all soon with another episode of Premiere Preview. Hello everyone. Welcome to a new series that I'm doing. It's going to be called the Premiere Preview, because we're starting the season up soon, and I'm trying to get a little bit of an introduction to all of the teams that are going to be playing in it. So today I'm joined by Secret Club's Wolfie. How you doing today, man?
Hey man, I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. I'm excited to have you on the show here today. I've got a couple of questions, but I kind of want to start off reminiscing a little bit about last season, because
Mhm.
you all were the Secret Club roster. If you need a little bit of an introduction to them, they came third place in the season. I believe they lost to only, what was it,
We
Whalers
lost
and
to Whalers in the playoffs
Whalers
and
in
Team One.
playoffs. But you were also one of the only teams to be able to take down Team One in the regular season, I believe, alongside the Whalers. So,
Yeah,
you
yeah, you're right. We beat them on
you
overpass like 16-8, I think.
yeah, it was
That's
a
the
really
game, yeah, I
impressive win.
remember.
Um, so I kind of want to start off with your introduction to the team, because you were the replacement of the other
The other
Wolfie in
Wolfie.
the one
Yeah.
for one trade. I talk about that a lot because it was kind of a funny trade, an interesting one, because both of the teams that were involved kind of were having lot of success.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically, well, the team I was playing on before was Six Gear. Um I was playing with Vec, Jules and them. We were Swedish Canadians. We had the
Yeah.
same roster that we had in season 34, I think. And yeah, I don't know. So basically that team, well, I got so off of sixth gear. So I got basically kicked from sixth gear, and then due to like just some issues within the team, like amongst me and like another player and some things, like I had a lot of personal things going on, and I wasn't really the best teammate to be honest either. So it kind of made sense, and like we didn't see things the same way. And so after that happened, I was good friends with Colin, Wrath,
Hmm.
and I played with him a lot and like pugs and stuff. And me and him were just like pugging, and he was like, I don't know, he just kind of said that, he just asked me if I wanted to play with them. It was kind of like a joke at first, like, oh, imagine we pick you up and we get the Wolfie minus Wolfie plus Wolfie like headliner or whatever on
Yeah.
Dust 2, the article. And no, but then we actually made it happen, and it was
Hmm.
also because like they didn't have anyone that was really like opping, and I mean like he wanted an IGL as well, and I mean
Hmm.
I'm not really like I don't really want to be an IGL, like even though I've like been an IGL a lot before, just because I'm kind of the person that takes the responsibility if no one wants to,
Yeah.
and so that's why I like joined the team. And I mean, it ended up being me and like Colin being the ones calling a lot, and yeah, they needed an opera, so we made that happen. And I'm like glad it happened though, because like I think that roster was super talented.
Hmm.
Like I mean, our biggest strength was that we were super individually like good at the game,
Yeah.
but like our weaknesses was that we had like there was a lot of personalities in the team, and there was also a lot of young people on the team.
Yeah.
Like some of these kids were like 16, 17 at the time, and so there was a lot of struggles with that, but I don't know. That's basically how it went down and how I joined the team.
Yeah. So I mean, kind of assuming that the young people you're referring to is one of them, at least, is Classia. who had a really impressive season. I believe that was his first season of MDL too, and
Yeah,
so
yeah.
kind of as a leader role, how did you kind of work around those players and kind of introduce them into like the MDL league?
Well, I mean, it's hard to say because I was more just like I just more tried to keep it like calm. Like
Yeah,
it was hard though because I was trying to keep myself calm at the same time and like not get tilted or whatever. Like I'm not really a tilter, but like I
right.
said, I've had a lot of things going on and like I was just trying to keep the mood well because that was one of the things like if we were down, like we were down bad. Like
Yeah.
not just in the sense of like score, but we were down in the sense of like just the mood, the environment, like people were frustrated, whining, and I was really just trying to like explain to them like, okay, we have no practice in the season. We are an underdog in the sense that yeah, we have no practice. We're just like a mixed team. We're just basing our like wins off of our individual performance. Like the least we can do is give ourselves an advantage by having a good attitude and a good mindset in the game.
Hmm.
And that's kind of what I was trying to like implement, I think, and it was just really hard because like I had a lot of things myself to work on. Like we were all like I said, the average age of the team was like 19. I mean, even
Yeah.
Colin Rath himself is pretty young. He's like 19, and so it was hard, but I still think we did well. I think that if we actually practiced that season and actually put a lot of time in, um, we could have done a lot better. And it's like something that I regret because like on paper, I think we were one of the best teams and like even though we did place third, I think we are like individually one of the best teams. Like
Yeah.
I would say like after like obviously Whalers was like I don't want to take anything away from them. There's super talent, like good team, and they have really good team play, and they work really hard. But like when it comes to individual skill, like I think our team after Team One was the best team, just
Yeah.
because of how young and like how much raw talent we had. We just like yeah, we just didn't have like what other teams had, which was practice, a better mindset, and just like we lacked like maturity
Yeah.
is like a word that you can use.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would honestly agree with you. I mean, again, not to take anything from the old Whalers lineup. I guess now we can call them
Yeah, high
High
coast.
Coast.
Yeah, high coast exactly.
But
They're not Whalers anymore.
uh yeah, I would agree. Like they had a lot more practice than you all, yet you experienced a lot of success without practice. I actually didn't know that you guys weren't practicing all that much. That's that makes the season even more impressive.
Yeah,
Not
we
kind of
played one scrim on Vertigo versus Pain. That was our
no
first scrim,
way.
and that was our last
That was the
scrim.
only one?
Yeah,
Did you
so
win it at
we
least?
I can't remember. I think we did, but I can't remember. And we actually ended up playing them in the. I remember we played them in the qualifier, in the close qualifier for. I think it was DreamHack Winter,
Mhm.
or yeah, it was the winter one.
Yeah.
And we actually beat them on Vertigo, and we had like played it once before, but we had like zero practice. Yeah, I don't know. Like we just bailed ourselves out with our like. I don't know. It
Yeah.
was like those kids on that team, and they're so talented.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's insane. I had no idea that you guys were rolling like that. That's so crazy.
Yeah, no, it was I don't know, like I said, I wish that we did practice, but it was like kind
Oh
of my
yeah.
fault as well because like I was like kind of I don't know, like we wanted to practice, but then I had things going on in my life and then like
Yeah.
I was also like kind of thinking about Valorant. Like I was playing
Mhm.
Valorant a little bit like cuz a
Yeah.
lot of my friends that like obviously swapped and like they're telling me like hey, you should try out the game and stuff. So I was like playing Valorant a little bit at the same time and I don't know, like looking back, like I think I should have just continued playing CS and actually practice because we had the chance of making EPL. Like now, obviously with the changes, that's like not like a huge like setback because there's gonna be more opportunities. But still, it's like we placed third and we could have placed, maybe even second or first
Yeah.
if we
Yeah.
actually really gave it our all.
Oh yeah. I definitely
But
agree with that.
you can only take it like as an improvement and learn from it. So
Yeah. I mean, speaking of improving, I don't know exactly what your next plans are, but as the ESEA like on the ESEA page for the old Secret Club uh team, you still got a couple of the old members, including Jitter and Classia. I'm not sure if you all are still planning on playing with that that same core of U4, and I do know that Rec is in Timbermans. I don't know. There's
Yeah,
lot to come
it's
for
very like that's the NA scene, man. It's like
yeah.
no one knows what's going on. Like the
We'll
rosters are
figure it
all
out when
like
it starts. Yeah.
yeah. So like I mean yeah, me right now, I like the plan is, I guess, to play with the plan is to play with me, Clasia, and Jitter,
Okay.
and we don't know who the fourth and fifth will be. Like we wanted to play with Rec, but he wants to play with Timberman.
Hmm.
He's good friends with those guys, and I mean, it's up to him. Even though I think that like if we stuck as like four and found a good fifth, because Colin right now is not playing, he's like I think he's playing Valorant and focusing on other things,
Okay.
and which really sucks because I love playing with Colin.
Yeah.
He's such a good guy, and like, but yeah, so Rek is gonna play with Timberman, and so that kind of sucks as well because I think Rek, like, also super young guy, a lot of potential. Like
Yeah.
that kid's deagle is insane, and but yeah, all you can do is like. All we can do is figure things out and work with what we have, and that's what we're doing at the moment. So I don't really know what the roster is going to be at the moment. We're trying to discuss a few things, but yeah, like we'll see basically. And we don't have a lot of time, but
Yeah.
that's what it is.
High pressure situation, but I
Yeah.
do want to ask you if the plan is to kind of practice a little bit more now, knowing that you all didn't weren't all that well practice. Is the kind of atmosphere of the team going to change? Are you in a better position to try and like put some more effort into it?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like what like right now, like especially with the changes, like even before the changes, like I was like, no matter how bad the NA scene is doing, it's like I still like I've always played this game because I love the
Hmm.
game.
Yeah.
I've never played it just for money. So it's like even like before the changes, I was just kind of like, like no matter like how good the opportunities are in Valorant and stuff, it's like I really do love this game and I feel like I have way more to do. And I've kind of like I don't know. I feel like I have way more to do in this game, and I really want to like, especially this season, like get a stable roster and practice,
Yeah.
because I do believe in the guys that I'm playing with. Like I said, uh, obviously it's a bit harder now because the player pool is a lot smaller, but
Yeah.
I still think with practice and like taking the responsibility of actually trying to lead a team and trying to help these younger players like develop and
Yeah.
become better. I think that we can actually do something and yeah, become something, because that is the goal. Like I mean, you can still find success like no matter how bad the region is like doing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Well, obviously it depends. I don't think that the region is doing so bad to the point where it's impossible, but
Hmm.
obviously it's hard. But like I mean, if you still have the drive, the motivation, and you love the game, like you should definitely do what you feel is right. And yeah, and I mean I enjoy it. Like even if you're not, making thousands of dollars, it's still fun. Like to play with people, build a team, see how the progress, like see the progress, see the development, like see the improvement, like and the competitiveness of the game. Like that's what's fun about it, and that's what I'm looking forward to this season.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we're definitely gonna try to get a stable roster. We're gonna try practicing and we'll try. We're definitely gonna practice, and then just
Yeah.
try to do our best. And like, I'm gonna help these guys as much as I can, and work on my own things and take care of my personal stuff. And yeah,
Yeah, that's perfect. I kind of want to end off on talking a little bit about the new ESEA changes because that's kind of fresh information,
yeah,
exciting changes. I just kind of want to start off with your initial thoughts because I know we talked a lot about it a little bit before, but I said hold off until we get recording because it is
yeah,
exciting.
yeah.
It's gonna be a lot
It is.
different. But what are your initial thoughts so far of the changes?
I think it's great. I think it's good because like that was the number one complaint that a lot of people had, was that having a training season in MDL just
Hmm.
doesn't really give anything. It kind
Yeah.
of, I mean, it's one thing if it's a training season where okay, they have a bigger prize pool and better teams, so people are actually practicing, like like the competition is really high. They're still playing for money even though they're not playing for a spot maybe in
Yeah.
EPL. But like it really wasn't that. It was just kind of like you were playing with a decent prize pool. The teams were like meh, like I think like the best training season, at least that I played in, was like season 33 when there was still like chaos,
Yeah, there's a lot of
whalers,
teams.
like
That was kind of during the Valorant introduction. Is
exactly. It
that
was like
yeah.
right before, and there was still like decent teams. Like now, like if you'd have a training season now, it would be really bad. And also like there's just with the like throwing that's going on and stuff, it's just like really sad to see because that's what
Yeah.
happens. Is a lot of people like they just don't care. They just get a roster. They just throw
Mhm.
games, and which just really hurts the scene. And it's something that you don't want to happen because it's like I don't know. It's
Oh
it,
yeah.
it
No,
just it
it's
just
it's
it
very
just drags the
damaging.
name in mud is I guess is what people say. And
Yeah.
but for now, it's like I'm actually really excited because now you actually have people that uh they have something to play for. Like you have tournaments, you have like that was like one of the main things that I loved about when I was in back in Europe was that like every single day you were practicing and there was like almost every week or every month there was like several tournaments, several qualifiers that you were all practicing for. So when you're actually practicing and putting time into the game, you felt like okay, well, I'm doing this not only for like the big goal of like becoming pro and becoming good like becoming a good team, but like okay, to do well in this qualifier or this tournament and it's the same now. Like now when we're practicing, okay, now the focus is like, okay, we're practicing to make playoffs, then the playoffs to make pro.
Mhm.
We have the ESEA tournaments to play. Like our focus should be on winning those. We have the qualifiers coming up. Our focus should be on making the qualifiers, getting to the tournament, and then obviously doing well. So the more you have to play, the more it kind of pushes players to do well, to improve, to practice, and put time into the game because it kind of makes this like dream that a lot of people have of becoming a professional player like it kind of gives them the opportunity to make it become a reality and that's what i
Yeah.
that's what i really like about the changes and I enjoy because before it kind of did feel like hopeless. It was kind of just like I mean it wasn't impossible. You had like people like Grim who were just insane like
Right.
on a liquid and stuff and you have some players now finding success like Junior and these guys who's apparently going to Fury and that could still like grind and do well, but it was still like for a lot of people like that weren't like insane players maybe that were good team players but didn't put up insane stats. They just fit into a team well. It gives them the opportunity to grow as a team and you can have teams come up from nothing and actually make it and do something and
Mhm.
and that's what I like and I
Yeah.
think I'm actually excited.
Yeah. No, I mean, I just made a outlandish face because I just read you mentioned the cash cups during the little spiel and they upped the prize pool. They're doing cash cups twice a month for $15,000 for a total prize pool. So they nearly doubled the prize pool for cash cups. I think that'll. I mean, that's just so much money being pumped into the NA scene, which I know is what a lot of players want. And I know that's what you mentioned earlier, is that they kind of hit all of the points where like the players were kind of complaining, even like the coverage and like utilizing the ESL's channel and all of that from a
Yeah.
caster's point of view is going to be really sick. Like I'm
Yeah, I
super excited to
agree.
see that.
Because that's another thing. I mean, I think MDL relegation or advanced playoffs last season, I don't even think it was streamed. Like
There's a
I
couple
can't.
matches that didn't get covered in MDL playoffs. Yeah.
Yeah, and MDL playoffs, and yeah, and that's I think that's like that's the number one thing. Like if even if you have like a lower skill level, like in terms of like gameplay, if you can still get like a good functioning cast with like overlay, someone casting the match,
Yeah.
making it feel professional and making it feel serious,
Hmm.
it will still like it will still look good for the scene. It will still
Yeah.
make it look good. And that was like no, I just remember seeing that. I was like, dude, what is going on, man? Like how are like MDL playoff games not even getting casted? It's making it look like a joke. Like people like
Yeah.
have to just sit there and watch like the kill feed on HLTV to see
Or
how the game
yeah,
is going.
or a Russian stream of someone that
Yeah.
you can't understand.
y-
That kind of blew my mind. I was
Yeah, it ruins the professionalism of the league, and that's like the one thing that like I think I had a biggest like that I think a big issue with his MDL is like the professionalism of the
mhm.
league is like really low because of like not only because of the skill, like not only because of like the bar of the skill level, but like like when games aren't being casted, stuff like this, it's just worse and worse and worse. You know what I mean? And that's that's something I think they've talked about that they're gonna do better now, which will help I think. because all these things I think will contribute to that one factor of like increasing the skill ceiling of or the bar in the league, and like because that's what you want it to be, right? You want MDL to be a league with where the better teams are competing. You don't have these
Yeah.
teams just throwing people just roster swapping all the time. You want people like uh, you want it to be a league where the games are casted. You can find all these young players that are super good that can have the potential to play in better teams, and stuff like this. And
Yeah.
so I think these changes are really good.
Yeah. I
I'm
mean,
excited.
you kind of wanted to bring it back to like how MDL, used to be when there was just so many good teams and like even good viewership as well. And I think
Yeah,
that this is a perfect start. I 100% agree with you.
yeah, no, 100%. I think these changes are like a good start, and now like we just have to have people like teams and players like actually put time in and like just grind and hope for the best.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I definitely agree. But unless you have anything else, anything you want to plug before we call the episode, I think that is perfect.
Ooh, I mean, I don't really know. I think I've said mostly everything.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, that's it. I mean, we've talked about most of the points, and I don't really have anything else to say, so I'm good.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, thank you so much for the interview. Make sure you follow the I guess I'll do this at the start of the video, so whatever. But make sure you follow Wolfie's Twitter at iWolfieCS. Thank you so much for joining me on the first episode
No
of
problem,
Premier
man.
Preview, and
Thanks for having me. It was
look,
fun.
yeah, looking forward to what you do in next season. But peace out,
Yeah,
everyone.
me too. Have a good one.